ability to draw them, or ourselves, from that which we have to that which we don't have. So that means if you feel that you're selfish, and then you say, well, no, I did something once. I guess for some reason I just did it. I gave somebody something more than I needed to, and I just did. But you recognize that usually you're selfish. I don't know why Shweki is giving me the Chabad Breslov bug. You know, like he started with that. So I'm going to tell the story of the Alter Rebbe of Chabad and the miser. He went with Rabbi Yitzchak of Berditchev, and two other great rabbis, and he said, just don't say a word. They were collecting for Pidyon Shvuyim, and the miser gave them a rusty nickel, penny, and the other Rebbes wanted to like slap the miser in the face, throw the penny back, but instead the Alter Rebbe of Chabad, he took the little nickel and he started thanking the miser and blessing him and respecting him and honoring him. And the miser said, you know what, let me give you something else. And then he gave him a quarter. And again, the same thing happens. The Alter Rebbe begins to thank him, and then he gives him $1. And this goes on until he gives him the whole amount. After they leave it, Rabbi Yitzchak of Berditchev tells the Alter Rebbe what was going on in there. So Rav Shlomo has one version of the story, but that's not the version I'm going to tell, because that's not what I need to say right now. The version I heard, it's the same, Rav Shlomo has this as well, but I'm going to skip part of it. Is that the Alter Rebbe said, when I first took the penny, the rusty penny, he only had the vessels to give a penny. But then when I acknowledged him and I appreciated it, I created the vessels for him to give a quarter. And then so on with $1 and $100 until he gave the whole thing. This is Rabbi Nachman's way of doing things. You draw the person out of where they think they are. One step at a time. So the Nekuda Tova, the good deed, actually draws them by receiving the good deed, by being appreciated by the tzaddik, by the chazan, by whoever, by your friend, by yourself even. That begins the kind of receiving to want to do more. That creates the bigger vessel in you to want to help more. So again, it is the emptiness and the direction. The Nekuda Tov is the direction. And the vacuum of the emptiness is the eye that tension that creates an outpouring. Tzamalacha nafshi, kamalacha b'sari. Be'eretz siya ba'ayef limayim. Alter Rebbe again. That says, Halav kain ba'kodesh chazi sicha. Liros uschach vodecha. Kain ba'kodesh, the Alter Rebbe explains, means halavai, that when I'm like a gazelle or a deer or whatever is machlokas in Gemara, what this creature is, when I'm in the desert, my soul is thirsty for you, like a gazelle thirsty for water, for God. Halavai b'kodesh. If only when I was in a holy place, I yearned for you. When you're in Tasmania and you hear there's like 100 Jews in what's the main city there? Hobart or whatever it is. And you meet an Israeli on the street, it's like, oh, you're the 101st. Right? It's like that loneliness creates halavai b'kodesh. If only I could see you in the holy. So again, Rabbi Nachman is saying, the lack of whatever it is creates halavai, if only. The Krechts. He says, when you come to speak to God, why are you coming? You're coming because something is missing. And that's what a prayer is. Prayer is that God should fulfill what it is that you lack. You should use your own words to say it in. And even if all you do is go, you have schar halicha going to the park in the middle of the night to speak to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And even if the only word you could say is open your mouth and say "Ay," because in that "Ay," HaKadosh Baruch Hu hears your song. Better if you could say the words, but even if you can't, get them out. And ultimately, Rabbi Nachman is really so much about how to be happy in this world. There's a lot of sadness. There's always what to be sad about. The housekeeper didn't come. She didn't come because Nebuch, her mother, is sick. Right? So it's one eye after one eye causes another eye and affects another eye. You look at my bank account today. You look how well this other person is doing, their bank, right? So you're, and sometimes it's heavy. It's heavy. But Nachman is just like, get off your feet and begin to dance. Put on the music. Let the simcha, let the joy just go right through you. It's all about being happy. You can't really do it with sadness, you see. But with simcha, you could lift the whole world up. You could solve the same problem that you were sad about with joy. The sadness is not going to fix the problem. When I walk down the street and I'm happy because, it's not raining, it's silly, right? No. It's the beginning of simcha, beginning of joy. When I have a coffee, so maybe it's like, it's a crutch. Caffeine is the gateway drug. They should really outlaw it. It's no better than pot. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, in like a judgmental person's mind, judging himself even. Why? This makes me happy. This is the Shekhinah. No. If that's what begins to make you happy, say God is in the cup of coffee. I mean, he could be in the Lulav Esrog. Why can't he be in the cup of coffee? Okay, maybe not. But in the bracha, can he be in the bracha, in the awareness that this is God's cup of coffee that he's giving it to you? And on Shabbos, when we daven, we lift ourselves up with our clapping. And we get up with our feet and we dance. It's to transform that our bodies feel the joy shouldn't remain just in our heads or even in our hearts, but it should go out of our hearts. It should enter into our arms and our legs. Our whole bodies should get up and begin to dance. Mitzvah gedola liyos b'simcha liyos b'simchatani. Mitzvah gedola liyos b'simcha liyos b'simchatani. Hey mitzvah gedola, aliyah b'simcha. Hey mitzvah gedola, aliyah b'simcha. Hey la 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 Wanted to thank Raquel Schraub for helping sponsor tonight's learning and for bringing in honor in memory of her father. What's his name?
Pinchas Elimelech.
Pinchas Elimelech, a descendant, direct descendant of Elimelech of Lezhansk. They're so close that Raquel calls Elimelech her Zayda.
Wow.
So,
great.
yeah, I have some Zaydas, like, you know, Levi Yitzchak Barditchev, the Alter Rebbe Chabad. I don't call them Zayda. I don't feel like that close to them. Like many generations earlier. But Raquel is that close. She's like mamish.
Well, it's what I heard from my father.
And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I also want to thank, of course, David, who does this every year. What happened without the Rabbi? And, the truth is, last year there was like 200 people. Whatever. This year there's not, but that's where the schar is. When you have 200 people, you organize something, you feel good about yourself. Like, look, I got something. I got a big event I pulled out. When you don't have the big, great feeling, that's when you really did it, because it's for real. It's not about you, you know? Just doing it. You have to remember that. Reb Shlomo was always teaching. Reb Sholem taught me something that Reb Shlomo taught him. One time, of course, if you're organizing things, don't do this, but he says, Reb Shlomo came to Montreal, and he had a learning in Rabbi Bratt's home, and he says only one person showed up. So Rabbi Brett felt so terrible, you know. He flew in special for this thing, and only one person showed up. He was mamish broken. So Shlomo says, you don't know. One person is a world. Don't put yourself down, my friend. Don't worry. It's just, you know. So it's hard for us. We look at, oh, we want the world. We want the world. One person is a world. You know? One person is the world. So I bless everybody that we should begin to live a little more with the love that Reb Nachman had for life.
Amen.
With the joy that he had, the simcha that he had, that would reach into the darkest, saddest places and just lift you up, mamish, like pull you up from there. Rabbi Nachman is mamish my rock. When I mean, Baruch Hashem, I have a therapist. I went to see her like 3 times. I said, but you know what, Gaval, I have Rabbi Nachman.
He doesn't
The
charge.
problem is there's a lot of other crazy people who also feel the same way. But Mamash was going through a hard time in my life. Rabbi Nachman was like unbelievable. You know, after that I didn't learn Rabbi Nachman nearly as much because it was like, you know, like if you're sick you need to take medicine. When you get better, you don't need the medicine, you need a little, what do you call, vitamins. So Rabbi Nachman is like on the level of medicine. So if you're dealing with a very stressful situation, you're going through a hard time, something is bothering you, Rabbi Nachman is mamish like holding you up. I tell people, I'll recommend a therapist, and I'm going to tell you which Torahs of Rabbi Nachman to learn. You know, if you're going through a hard time, Rabbi Nachman is unbelievable. The truth is he's good all the time. Because if you're learning Rabbi Nachman all the time, you won't even know you're going through a hard time. So, Baruch Hashem, I was zocha that I came back to Rabbi Nachman only with simcha. I didn't have to come back, I didn't have to visit again because God forbid something happened, but only through simcha and Rabbi Nachman and Rabbi Nassim. Mom is just lifting us up to another level.
Oh, another davening upstairs.
Another davening upstairs. What? You want to speak? You have one more, so let him speak.
Okay, so we're going to thank you so much, Rabbi. If it wasn't for the Rabbi allowing this to happen in the shul,
It would happen anyway.
I think we're going to have one more speaker. And do you want to say a few words? No? Okay, so if you want, we can learn one more Likutei Moharan. Rabbi Nachman explains when the woman allows a man to marry her, when she allows him to rule over her.
Oh, no. This is the west side. We don't speak.
No, but it says the so-called curse of Eve is that a man will rule over you. But Rabbi Nachman says something very interesting. He says when the woman allows the man to marry her, when the woman allows the man to sort of take over and get married to her, right. That allowance, that trust that she gives him, brings his parnasa. So if you want, we can learn it.